I'm Lieutenant Dan Marley, and this is the Troy Fire Vlog. Thanks for watching. This is our second Troy Fire Vlog. And before we get into the active month that we had for the month of August, we want to talk about the new school year. Obviously, it's starting much different for many of us with the remote learning. Some things we want to consider while we're spending extra time at home is making sure that you have an escape plan and that you practice it, especially when the kids are going to be at home, possibly alone, while parents are working. Something else that we always talk about, and it's really important, especially now being home more often, is having those working smoke alarms. We want to make sure those smoke alarms are working, and you can do that by testing them at least once a month. Again, some of the older kids may be staying home alone while the parents are away at work doing their learning. So we want to make sure we talk about kitchen safety. Unattended cooking continues to be the leading cause of fires in the city of Troy. So maybe with everything going on, learning and busy homes that we have these days, maybe think about a cookless option for lunch, maybe a cold sandwich or something like that, just so we don't have any distracted, unattended cooking fires in the home. Now let's get back on to the month of August. The Troy Fire Department responded to 95 calls for service, and we're going to spotlight a few of those calls right now. On August 10th, just before 3 p.m., a resident was working from home and was alerted by a smoke alarm. They checked out the home and found out that there was smoke coming from the basement. They safely exited the home and called 911. Station 2, Station 6, Air Tender 3, and Rescue 4 were dispatched for a structure fire at the address. When they arrived, they located a working fire in the basement, and they quickly deployed hand lines to extinguish the fire and contain the fire to the lower level. We were really fortunate that that resident had that smoke alarm, was able to get alerted to the smoke and the fire and exit the home safely. So the next fire run we're going to talk about didn't even happen in the city of Troy, but Troy Fire Department assisted and responded to a mutual aid request to the city of Rochester Hills. On August 16th, around 6 a.m., Station 6 was dispatched to assist with a fire in a large apartment building that was likely caused by a lightning strike. Rochester Hills, Troy, and 6 other departments all assisted on the scene of this fire to extinguish it. All the occupants of the apartment were safely evacuated and no injuries were reported to any of the occupants. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office also responded, and they conducted the fire investigation after the fire was out. In total, Station 6 worked for about 2 hours on scene to help completely extinguish the fire. The next fire we're going to talk about was another smoke alarm saved. In the early morning hours on August 18th, the residents of the home were awoken by a smoke alarm. They were able to safely exit the home and call 911. They actually located a working fire on the exterior of their home on the attached deck. Station 5, Engine 2, Ladder 1, Air Tender 3, and Rescue 4 were dispatched to the fire. The crews, when they arrived, were able to quickly deploy hand lines containing the fire to the deck and only causing minimal damage to the home. Again, this is proving how important having working smoke alarms in your home is. The next fire was another early morning for Station 3, Station 6, and Rescue 4, and that was on August 26th, shortly after 3 a.m. They were dispatched to the report of a structure fire at the Sacra facility on Coolidge. When they arrived, they found a working fire in the waste transfer building. That's where the waste is brought in from the curbside pickup, and then it's transferred to semi-trailers for hauling to the landfills. When firefighters arrived, they quickly deployed hand lines and master string devices for large volumes of water to start applying water to the fire. Due to the heavy load of materials in the waste building, we actually had to call in our DPW to assist us with an excavator to move some of the waste so that firefighters could gain access to the hot spots. In total, firefighters worked for over 3 hours to extinguish the fire, and we're happy to report that there was no injuries to any of the firefighters on that scene. The next fire we're going to talk about was on August 30th around 11 p.m. There was actually a report of another working deck fire on the exterior of a home, and this one was actually identified by the neighbor. So luckily, they were able to alert the resident, and they were able to exit the home safely and await for the firefighters' arrival. When they arrived, they found a working fire in the deck, and they were able to deploy hand lines and quickly extinguish it, containing it to just a small portion of the deck on the rear of the home. They used Class A foam to make sure that the fire was completely out and make sure that we wouldn't get any rekindles. Again, fortunately, the fire was contained to a small area of the home, and there were no injuries reported. Now we're going to get away from some of the runs that we were on and talk about some of the trainings that we did for the month of August. As you know, training is a huge part of the fire department, and our North End stations train every Monday night, the South End stations train every Tuesday night, and then we have additional trainings that's available to our members on off hours from those. This month we hosted a Fire Instructor 1 course through the state of Michigan that allowed 13 of our members to spend 40 hours of instruction learning how to better educate our firefighters, and they'll actually be able to use that certification to teach at the Fire Academy. So this is really going to help our department to have 13 more Fire Instructor 1s ready and available to help out. Another big training topic for the month of August was training our firefighters on our new firefighting foam. You may have seen in the news where firefighting foam, amongst other things, contain ingredients such as PFAs and PFOs, which have now been found to be hazardous to people and to the environment. So we purchased new foam that does not contain these ingredients, and we're happy to report that our entire fleet has been switched over to the new firefighting foam, and all of our firefighters are thoroughly trained on the use of this product. The last training topic for the month of August is training that Station 1 and Station 5 did. We recently upgraded their vehicle extrication equipment to modern cordless or battery-operated equipment. This eliminates the need for the hydraulic hoses that we would traditionally have, and we provided training from the manufacturer on the operation of this equipment and the different techniques that we can use with this updated equipment. So this now completes the conversion to this updated equipment throughout the city. So all of our stations have a set of this equipment, and we also have an additional set on our heavy rescue. So we are prepared wherever we are needed in the city of Troy. We have to end this month's Troy Fire Vlog on a bit of a somber note, but we feel it's important to honor a friend of ours. A former member of our department of 16 years served on Station 6, and when he left our department, he joined the Bloomfield Hills Public Safety Department, providing police and fire services for the city of Bloomfield Hills. He was on duty, and he suffered a medical emergency and suddenly passed away. Steve was a dear friend to many members of our department, not only professionally, but personally, and we want to make sure we honor him, and we're honored to be able to assist with the flag detail at his funeral, as you can see in the pictures on the screen. Steve is survived by his wife and 4 daughters, and we hope that you please keep them in your thoughts during these times.